Hi guys, this is Albert the Analyst, and for this video I'm going to be just reviewing the results for some of the events that happened at the Prefontaine Classic yesterday, especially the ones that I made predictions for. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So the first event that I made predictions for was the women's 100 meter, where I had Julian winning, Melissa second, Tina third, and I had Sha'Carri as my dark horse. Now, for the results after the race, Melissa actually beat Julianne. Melissa ran a 10.75 to Julianne's 10.77. Marie-Jose Toulouse-Smith came third with 10.90. And Tina came fourth with 11.02. Of course, I think the biggest story that came out of this race was not only Melissa's upset, because I would deem it an upset, but also the fact that they ran this fast into a minus 1.5 wind. This is a very clear indication that Julian and Melissa can definitely go 10-6 before this season ends. So I'm very excited for that. Marie-Jose Toulouse came third with a season's best of 10.90. When you factor in the wind, this means that she's either in 10.8 low or maybe even 10.7 shape. And then Tina came fourth with 11.02. Considering the fact that Tina had such a high octane trials last week in Jamaica, I'm just very impressed that she was still able to maintain even a bit of that all of that energy she showed when she ran that 10.81 to become the national champion. Now, the second event that I predicted would have been the men's 100 meters. I predicted for Kishane to win, Trayvon Brummel second, Akeem Blake third. My two dark horses were Coleman and Brandon. Now, Kishane won, of course. Trayvon Brummel came third, and second place was actually Zarnell Hughes, who I was very impressed with because in my preview video for the Prefontaine Classic, I did say that it's I am hoping for a sub 10 from Zarnell Hughes, considering where we are currently in the season. And so, I'm very happy that he gave me the sub 10 that I wanted by running 9.91. Brummel also went sub 10 with 9.94, and then fourth place was Brandon Hickling with 9.98. So, and then Akeem Blake came fifth in 10.03. So yeah, the four of the five persons that I felt could make some impact came top five, with Zarnell Hughes being second. So yeah. Next we have the men's 400 meter hurdles. Now for this one, I put Rai Benjamin first, Alison Dos Santos second. In bracket beside Dos Santos' name, I put could upset, and upset he did. So I put Rai Benjamin, then Alison Dos Santos, who could possibly pull an upset. Then in third place, I put Abderrahman Samba. And then I also said Ezekiel, Trevor, and Dessini will trail behind these three, and one of them could upset the person in that I predicted for third place, which would have been Samba. Now, let's look at the actual results for this race. Of course, in this race, just like I predicted was a possibility, Alison Dos Santos actually did upset Rai Benjamin, and he won that race in a season's best of 46.65, with Rai Benjamin second and Ezekiel Nathaniel third. And if you remember, I said that I expected for Ezekiel, Trevor, and Dessini to trail behind, and one of them could upset third place, and so that Ezekiel took third place. And then after Ezekiel, there was Trevor, then Samba, then Alan CJ, then Asani Wilson. So they really did trail behind, the top three as I expected. The next event would have been the men's 200 meters. Considering the fact that Kenny Benerick pulled out, I predicted that Letsile Tubogo would come first, Jareem Richards would be second, third place would be Alexander Ogando, and my dark horse would be Brian Lavelle. The race was run, and just like I expected, the young man, even though he's competing with the big men, and he is a big man now, Letsile Tubogo coming back from injury, ran a world lead of 19.76, so that was amazing. The ever consistent Courtney Lindsay ran 19.87 as a season's best. And then Alexander Ogando ran 19.94. Robert Gregory was 4th. Jerry Richards 5th. Brian Lavelle 6th. So 2 of my predicted top 3 came top 3, with Courtney Lindsay taking 2nd place. As I said, Courtney's very consistent, so I was not shocked at all by that. So that was good going there. My next prediction came for the men's 400 meters, where I would have had Matthew Hudson-Smith winning, Christopher Bailey 2nd, where I said he could pull an upset. Alexander Doom my bad. So I had Quincy Hall, Matthew Hudson-Smith, then Christopher Bailey, where I said Christopher could upset the top 2. Then I had Alexander Doom as my dark horse. Now for the 400 meters, let me just confirm, because I think Quincy pulled out, but let me quickly confirm. Yes, Quincy would have pulled out. And the winner for this one was actually Matthew Hudson-Smith, with Christopher Bailey 2nd, and Sha'Carri Patterson 3rd. So only one of my predicted top 3 came top 3, which have been Christopher Bailey. But Matthew Hudson has been so consistent in the 400 meters since last year and this year, especially. And then, of course, he was doing great at the Grand Slam. Sha'Carri Patterson has been very consistent this year as well. So, that was really no shock to me to see, how they performed. Next would have been the women's 400 meters. I mean, it was very easy to predict that Sydney would come first. So I predicted that Sydney would be first, Isabella Whitaker 2nd, Rashida Adeleke 3rd, and my dark horse was Aliyah Butler. Now, to look at the results, let me quickly pull that up. Of course, Sydney would have won in a time that some persons had expected to be a bit faster. But hey, 49:43 is fast. Jeez, I think we're being spoiled at this point if we feel as though it's not as fast. 2nd place was Aliyah Butler, who was my dark horse. 3rd place was Isabella Whitaker. And 4th place was Rashida Adeleke. So these 4 persons who I had as either top 3 or dark horse, all 4 of them placed top 4. So I was very happy for that. Dejanay Oakley of Jamaica came 5th. Very impressed by that 5th place finish from her. So that was really good. My next prediction was for the men's shot put, where I predicted that Leonardo Fabry would come first, Peyton Utterdall 2nd, Rajendra Campbell 3rd, and then my dark horse would have been Tom Walsh. I think I butchered that prediction, but let me quickly confirm. Give me just a quick sec. Or was it the hammer throw? No, not the hammer throw. All right, let me try to find this. Pole vault, no. Shot put men final, right. So for this one, Joe Kovacs 1st, Roger Steen 2nd, and this is Cornell Enekweshi 3rd. So for this one, honestly, this was my very first time trying to predict the men's shot put, so I don't mind getting all my top 3 and even my dark horse wrong. That's just a learning curve that I will definitely be improving on going forward. Next up would have been the women's 800 meters. For this one, I predicted that Sigai Dugoma would come first, Prudence Segodiso would be 2nd, Mary Mora would be 3rd, and my dark horse was Anais Burguin. Now, the race was run, and the winner was Sigai Dugoma, like I predicted. 2nd place was Prudence, like I predicted. 3rd place was Alima Nakai. 4th place was Anais Burguin, who I had predicted to be a dark horse. And of course, Mary Moore did not do as well as I had hoped. She came 9th. I believe she's having some injury issues. I'm going to check to confirm. But yeah, this was my very first time predicting a longer distance. So I think I did well in that regard. And then I've never predicted for like distance events. So I'm very happy for for how I predicted. For example, in the women's 1500 meters, I predicted that Faith Kipyegon would be first, Jessica Hall would be 2nd, Georgia Hunter Bell 3rd, and my dark horse was Lakhayo Ehore. Now, for the women's 1500 meters, the results were Kipyegon came first in a world record. Congrats, The consistency is amazing. Second place was Deribe Welteje. Third place was Jessica Hall, and then fourth place was Georgia Hunter Bell. So the my let me see, one, so Faith, Georgia, Jessica Hall. So yeah, the persons who I predicted to like be top 3 or dark horse, 3 of them came top 4. So I'm very happy with how I predicted that one. As I said, I've never tried to predict distance events before, so I had to review their personal best, season's best, and season progression and the tendencies when I was making my prediction. For the women's 5,000 meters, I predicted that Beatrice Chibet would come first, Medina Isa second, Burke Halum third, and my dark horse was Alishine Baweki, who I said could upset the bottom 2. Now, the results for the women's 5,000 meters, not only did Beatrice won like I expected, she ran a world record, which is amazing. Second place was Jibet Getish. Third place was Sigai Gudaf. So the only thing I got correct for that one was first place, which I think that's what matters most, but I definitely will be looking forward to improving on that. Now, my last prediction that I made was for the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase, where I had Faith Karatich first, Peruth Kemutai second, Winfred Stacy third, and my dark horse was Sembo Almayu. Now, the results for the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase was first place was Yavi Winfred. I'm so sorry. So Yavi Winfred. I spelled that incorrectly. So I had Yavi Winfred for third in my prediction. She came first. I had Faith Karatich for first in my prediction. She came second in the actual race. And then Shomatai Peruth, who I initially had for second, she came third in the race. So my top 3 came top 3, but just in a different order than I predicted. And my dark horse, who I had for that's Sembo Almayu, she came 5th. So as I said, first time trying to predict distance events. I am so proud of myself for being able to predict that even a top 3 or even one of a top 3, and I'm looking forward to doing that even more going forward. But yeah, overall the Prefontaine Classic was extremely great. It's my favorite meet by far since 2021's own Prefontaine Classic outside of Hayward Champs or Olympics. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. But yeah, that's it from me. Guys, please remember to like, share, subscribe. And yeah, your boy is doing very well with these predictions. I did it so good at trials, and I feel I did really great here. So the total points would have been like 33 points across the what I predicted. I got 22 of 33 points, which would be like 66%. And considering all these factors that go into track and field, the fact that I was able to predict at a 66% success rate, I'm super proud of myself. But yeah, like, share, subscribe. Peace.